Kate. That, Kate admitted, was what was really disturbing her. Nearing middle age, in darn good shape for 44, she knew, but still 6 years older than Jeanette, she couldn't help worrying that Jeanette had found someone else, someone younger. That would be so unlike the old Jeanette, but this new Jeanette, who could say? Jeanette had been put on notice that her remaining time on Earth was numbered in months instead of decades. She'd believed she'd seen her last Christmas tree, tasted her last Thanksgiving dinner, and then it was all given back to her. How could anyone's psyche survive that sort of trauma unscathed? Perhaps the ordeal had caused Jeanette to reassess her life. Maybe she'd looked around and asked, "Is this what I want?" And perhaps in some new back-from-the-brink perspective, she'd decided she wanted something else, more, different. At least she could tell me, Kate thought. She owes me that much. Jeanette hadn't asked her to leave. She had the right since it was her apartment, but she had moved out of the bedroom they'd always shared on Kate's visits and into the study where she slept on the couch. No amount of questioning from Kate had elicited a reason why. The not knowing gnawed at her. So tonight, when Jeanette had walked out the door without a word, Kate had followed. Never in a million years would she have imagined herself trailing the woman she loved through the night. But things change. It hadn't been all that long ago that she never would have imagined herself loving another woman. Up ahead, Jeanette's cab turned off the Bruckner, and Kate's followed it onto a road the signs identified as the Bronx River Parkway. And after a few miles, the city suddenly disappeared, and they were in the woods. In the Bronx? "Stay closer," she told the driver. "You're letting them get too far ahead." She didn't want to come all this way just to lose her. Then Kate saw signs for the Bronx Zoo and New York Botanical Gardens. More turns, each new road smaller than the last, until they were traveling a tree-lined residential street. "Are we still in the Bronx?" she asked, marveling at all the well-kept homes trailing by on either side. "Still Bronx, yes," the driver told her. How come it never looks like this on TV, she wondered. "Keep going," Kate said when she saw Jeanette's cab pull into the curb before a neat brick colonial. Her anxiety soared as 1,000 questions cascaded through her mind. Who lived there? Another woman? She had the driver stop half a block beyond. She watched Jeanette's cab leave her on the sidewalk and pull away. As Jeanette started up the walk toward the house, Kate opened her own cab's door. "Wait here," she said. No, the driver said. "You must pay." Nice neighborhood or not, this was still the Bronx, and a long way from Jeanette's apartment. Kate did not want to be stranded here. She glanced at the meter and fished the exact amount out of her wallet. "Here," she said, keeping her voice low as she handed him the money. "You'll get your tip when we get back to the city." He seemed to accept that, nodding without comment as he took the money. She pulled her raincoat tightly around her. A chilly night for June. The fog was thinning, and the wet street glistened in the glow from the streetlights. Every sound seemed amplified. Kate was glad she'd worn sneakers as she padded along the street, keeping the parked cars between her and Jeanette. When she'd approached as close as she dared, she stopped behind a tree trunk and watched Jeanette walk up the front steps of the house. Kate's heart ached at the sight of her. A yellow rain slicker and loose jeans hid her feminine curves. A Yankees cap hid much of her straight, jet-black hair. But Kate knew those curves, remembered the strawberry scent of the shampoo Jeanette used to wash that hair. Suddenly Kate wished she hadn't come. Who was going to open that door? 40 minutes ago she'd been dying to know. Now she was terrified. But she couldn't turn away. Especially not now, because the door was opening and a man stood there, a heavy-set 50-ish man with a round face and small eyes and a balding melon head. He smiled and opened his arms, and Jeanette embraced him. Kate's stomach lurched. A man? Not Jeanette. Anyone but Jeanette.